which we came. The white represents the light in which we now live. And the red represents the passion it takes to live recovered on purpose.
Hello. Welcome everybody to the Recovered on Purpose show weekend recap. We're going to be talking about what if we could? What if the possibilities actually were endless now that we found recovery from active drug addiction? Love you guys so much. Thank you for coming in. And guys, I'm going to do something a little bit different than we've ever done here on the Recovered on Purpose show. I am going to add the StreamYard link. If anybody wants to come in and celebrate some clean time, celebrate some things that have been going on in your life in recovery, just to show that other people out there that recovery is possible and it's a beautiful life. Love that you guys are here. Let me know where you're coming in from, your clean and sober dates, and anybody that is ready that wants to come in, posting the link right now, because I would love to talk to y'all and see what everybody's doing right now. Guys, the possibilities are 100% endless in our recovery. When we have a dream, when we have a vision, we've been trapped in addiction for so long that, we couldn't get our lives together. We couldn't chase after the things that we always wanted. A lot of us didn't even know what we wanted with our life because we were so trapped in our addiction. The drugs just took us over. That was all we wanted. For me, I was stuck. All I wanted was the drugs. I woke up for drugs. I woke up to use everything I did. The job that I did was to support my habit, but now in recovery, what is it that we want? For me, I want to help as many people as possible. I want to get out and do as many things as possible. There's so many different possibilities that I'm chasing after all of them with the same vision in mind. How do I help more people find recovery from addiction? And how do I help more kids not go down the path of addiction? And again, guys, let me know where you're coming in from, your clean and sober dates, and any celebrations that we're having. That's what we do here on the weekend recap. And the link is in the comments for anybody that has the courage and wants to come in and talk, wants to come in and say hello, let the community know what's going on in your life in recovery and celebrate with me. So guys, what we're going to talk about, what do you guys want to do in your recovery? What have you always wanted to do? And now that we've found freedom, if you've done the 12 steps and you found that spiritual awakening that, took you from this hopeless state of mind, body, and spirit to being able to do whatever you want in life, finding that, doing the next right step, the next right thing is constantly taking you to the places that you want to go. Maybe it's this job that you've always wanted to do that you got. Now what? Maybe you want to get this new apartment. Maybe you want to get this new car. Maybe you want to find, that relationship that you've always wanted to have. And with our ability to, hold true to ourselves, with our ability to know that we're capable of having integrity, being capable of, having this place where we can do the things that we need to do to go after the things that we've always wanted to do and always wanted to have, right? Pam coming in. Pam is an OG, Washington State here, July 25th, 2013. One day at a time. Let's go. Good to see you, Pam. Christina from North Carolina, clean since February 14th, 2020. Good to see you, Christina. Let's go. And it sounds like you had a new, love of your life on February 14th. Recovery is a beautiful thing. Congratulations on your 2.5 years recently. So guys, and again, the StreamYard link is right there for anybody that's ready to come in. We want to celebrate with you. I want to hear from you. I want to talk to some of you guys. And this is something I haven't done here on the Recovered on Purpose show yet. So anybody that's ready, that has the courage, feel free to hop in here with me. So I want to talk to you about something that I'm working on now, right? There is and some of you may have seen the show that I did with Claudia Christian. She's an amazing, amazing woman. She's been in, TV series, like she was an actress in NCIS, Babylon 5, 911, and a bunch of other things, right? And what we're doing during our show together, when we were talking, we were bouncing off of each other and we were seeing these ideas and stuff, and things kept sparking within us. Things kept sparking with how this connection was working. And we decided we want to go speak together. We want to go at this and go help kids not go down this path, or maybe, prevent them from going into serious drug addiction, or prevent, being incapacitated by alcohol. And having that vision, knowing that it's possible, that wasn't quite enough, right? What has to happen when we see the possibility, when we see something that we want to do in our recovery or in our life, when we see the possibility of it, we have to break it down. We have to say, okay, well, what do we have to do in order to make that happen? And there were a lot of steps that had to take place, but we're very close to starting. We had to do everything from, building a website, from, planning the actual speech, from finding the contacts to reach out to people, from, connecting with the right people to make this happen. And the thing is that knowing that it's possible is the first step. And that's the beautiful thing about recovery. That's the beautiful thing about addiction recovery is that, we had such a long time in our addiction that we couldn't do anything. We couldn't do these things. We couldn't figure this thing out. But now in our recovery, we know that we can hold ourselves accountable to doing the things that we have to do. Because, a lot of us had to do a serious, rigorous plan of action in order to find recovery. A lot of us had to do this, whether it was a 12-step program, or whether it was treatment, or whether it was cutting off a whole bunch of people that, we lived our lives with in addiction. We had to do steps in order to find recovery. And we need to take that into our recovery for the dreams and the possibilities that we see for our life, the visions that we have, what we really want to do with our life. And in that process, we're going to learn more and more and more about ourselves. We're going to build confidence by, knowing that we want to get this CCAC certification. We want to be a certified counselor, addictions counselor, right? And when we have that vision and we know that we want to do that, the more steps that we take, we're going to build the confidence. And then when we actually get that certification, right? When we get that certification, we have this fulfillment from doing something step by step and making it happen. Now, we don't have to limit our beliefs. We don't have to limit the possibilities of what's real in our recovery. These visions, these possibilities that we have, we don't have to limit where we want to go. If we see something in our heart, we see something in our mind, and we believe that it's possible, it is. There's just steps to take to do it, right? And Claudia, what's up, Claudia? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's go. Genesee coming in. Genesee coming in with, you're coming up on 3 years. Let's go, Genesee. Good to see you from Wisconsin. And anything is possible. Amen. Amen. And guys, again, for anybody just hopping in, if anybody wants to come on tonight, I'm doing kind of an open show. It's the first time I've done this where I have the link in the comments to hop in the studio with me so we can have a conversation. Haven't done this before and I'm testing it out. If nobody comes in, nobody really wants to do that, then we won't do it again. And that's fine. I do guest Saturdays and guest Sundays, and we have a lot of really great guests coming on up close. And almost two. Oh, my math is way off. Almost 2 years. That's right, Genesee. I don't know why I thought it was 2023 for some reason. I'm living in the future already, right? And that's literally what I do to make these dreams and these visions come true. When I see something I want to do, I start living as if I'm already doing it. I start feeling like I'm already doing it. I happen to have a TED Talk booked for the end of next year. And I'm already planning it. I'm already setting my mind map together. I'm already, really getting together the vision of exactly what I'm going to say in this TED Talk. And I'm living now as if it's then. So the person I am now is the person that I'm becoming at that point, the person that I have to be in order to be somebody that gets on a TED Talk stage, in order to be somebody that talks at universities and brings value to kids and is able to spread a message that changes lives. That's the whole point. The whole point of us being in recovery and spreading our message and letting people know it's possible is just that. It's letting people know it's possible and giving them the step-by-step solution that you and I took. Each one of us had a different recovery method. For me, I found Jesus face-to-face at International House of Pancakes, and then I did the 12 steps as if my life depended on it. Did the 12 steps in under 60 days. When I did the fifth step, my first ever fifth step on day 25, day 26, the obsession left and it hasn't returned. For me, when somebody asks what to do to recover, I say, this is what I did. This is how it worked for me. This is what happened. And each one of us, no matter how we recovered, there's no shame in how you recovered. And that's what's going to help someone. That's what's going to help someone is is sharing the truth, sharing the reality of what we did in order to recover, and not trying to shy away from certain aspects of our story in order to appease somebody. Because the more authentic and the more real we are about how we did it and what we got out of it, our blessings in recovery, what we were suffering with in our addiction, the more authentic we are with that, the easier it is, for us to say it, because we're not thinking about something we have to hide. We're not thinking about, a way that we have to, appease these people. But the more truthful we are, the more people feel it. And we don't want to BS people and say everything is rainbows and butterflies in recovery, because that's going to make it so that they think they're doing something wrong when something hard shows up. Now, there's a lot of blessings in recovery. I love to share about the fact that I have been skydiving in 3 different countries already. I'm actually going to meet my sister and a longtime friend in Mexico in 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks and a day from now. And I'm going to go skydiving there again. That's just something that's a possibility. That's something I've always loved doing in my recovery, and sharing that with people out there. It's like, dude, everything is possible now. And what we want to do, what we love to do, we can do it now. We have that ability to do the things that we love. What do you guys love? What have you been able to do in your recovery? What has recovery blessed you with that, you weren't able to do in addiction? Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's relationships with family, or with your kids, or with God. Or maybe you got a job and you're able to stick to it, and you've been at a job for longer than you've ever been at a job. Maybe you got a car, your first ever car that has, the insurance, the 2 different keys, and a spare tire in the back. It took me a long time to be able to get something like that. And it was in my recovery that I was actually able to find that. What's up, Tiffany? Good to see you. Sober since October 2021. Let's go. You're coming up on a year. And the year mark is huge, girl. The year mark is huge. God removed the desire to use, just ask. Amen, Genesee. And some of us have that experience, 100%. And that's why I think it's so beautiful for each one of us to be sharing our unique story. Because for me, I met Jesus at IHOP, face to face, right in front of me, sitting across the table. And when that happened, the obsession, the craving, and the withdrawal wasn't removed from me. I still battled those things for 21 days after I met him. There was like sickness. I was shaking. I was sick constantly. And the only relief I would get was when I was working the 12 steps hard, when I was sitting down and I was actually writing my 4th step, when I was actually sitting down with my sponsor and reading the book and going through the step work and everything. That was the only relief that I got. But I absolutely have heard many stories where this happened for someone. And if we share what happened for us, how it actually happened, then the people that is meant to reach, the people that's going to happen for, will be able to try that for themselves, and it'll work. The people that are supposed to pray for the desire to be removed and for it to be removed just like that, try it. And try it with faith, because it's possible. Genesee did it. Angel, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. There will always be challenges in life. Always. And, what would life be without challenges? If we didn't have something to overcome, if we didn't have something to battle, if we didn't have something to grow into, someone to grow into, someone to go after, something to go after, right? If we didn't have that, then what would life be? So it's the perspective of what challenges are in recovery. Challenges are opportunities for growth for me. I've faced a lot of challenges in my recovery, Some of them much bigger and different than the challenges I faced in addiction. And now in recovery, I don't have the same, ability to have the solution to escape the feelings and emotions in a moment. In my recovery, I don't have the opportunity, I don't have the choice to go use drugs and alcohol anymore. So every challenge that comes at me without the solution of drugs and alcohol is another opportunity to learn a way to grow, to learn a way to overcome, to learn skills, to do things that have to be done. And I love challenges. I'm someone that faces them head on, love them. Claudia, the law of attraction saying about that, feel that before even it happened, and it will eventually happen. Amen. Amen. And there's the law of attraction is a very real thing. It's a very, very real thing. And I think the law of attraction thought process, bringing God into it, multiplies it 7 by 7 by 7 by 7. Makes it so that the law of attraction is a real thing. We feel this, we know this. We're living in that moment right now. We're speaking on that stage right now. We're feeling the audience. We know the impact that we're making on them. We understand, that there's someone out there that needs this message really badly. And while we're doing that, and while we're feeling that, we're trusting in God. We know God is with this. We know God is giving us this vision. And it says in the Bible even that the young men without vision shall perish. So, and perishing doesn't mean necessarily like, they're going to die without vision, right? But it means like spiritually, internally. It means if we don't have a vision that we're going after, if we don't have challenges that we're facing in order to go towards our vision, then we're perishing spiritually. We start to get emptier and emptier and emptier. So my challenge for you is, what is that vision? What is that goal? What is that dream that you want to do in your recovery? And start living it right now. Right now in this moment, you can think about who that is that you want to become. Think about that thing you want to be doing. Think about the people that you want to serve. Think about, if you want to be a speaker, if you want to be on podcasts, if you want to open up your own page and start doing things like this, start visualizing it and start visualizing what it would feel like to be doing that. And then while you're doing that, ask God to help you with it. Ask God to show you the steps to take to do that thing, and then take those steps. Everything is possible in our lives in recovery with God. Period. Fitness. Yes. Going to the gym and loving myself. Amen. I went to the gym today. I was a little late to the gym today. I went like around 11 o'clock and ran into somebody else from the States. Had a good conversation. Dude was beefcake as heck. And, talked to him for a while. It was cool. It was cool. The gym. And the cool thing about, going places like the gym, or if you're someone that likes, open mics, and you like to go up and you like to share your music or your poetry or something like that. If you like hiking, the cool thing about doing these things that you love to do, these hobbies that you love to do, is that when you go to the gym, there's going to be other people at the gym that love going to the gym. You can build a community there. If you love to go hiking, it's very possible and very likely, I've heard many, many stories of hikers meeting each other on a hiking trail and becoming best friends. Like, hey, do you want to go hiking sometime? Hey, what's your name? And just talk to the people out there. And the cool thing about following the hobbies that we love to do is that we start surrounding ourselves with people that will help us continue doing that hobby. And then there's other things that we love to do that person might love doing, right? It's a beautiful thing in recovery. Beautiful thing. What's up, Carrie? Good to see you. Always good to see you. Carrie, one of the original OGs of the page. Hey, Crystal, good to see you. And hopefully I'm going to see you in like 41 minutes also. Contrast is essential. Yes. Amen, amen, amen. And guys, again, if you're just coming in, I have a link up top of the comments. I'm doing something I haven't done on the show, where I'm having an open invite if anybody wants to come in and talk about some things that are going on in their life, some exciting things in recovery. I'm having an open invite right now. I'm going to see if it works tonight. Never done it before. If anybody wants to do it, I've been having this sort of like this thought, like, what if we did a kind of a meeting together? Like, what if we did, where we were coming in, we were celebrating clean time, we were talking together. It wasn't just me on Fridays, and it was everybody. If we just had, this ability to come in, talk to each other, we had that courage to get up, and I think it'd be fun. If you guys don't, I won't offer it again. I totally get it. I want to motivate others as they see where I used to be to where I'm going with my fitness and life. Amen, Genesee. I love that. I actually have somebody that entered the course this week, but that's exactly what he does. Him and I talked about, his routine and what he does to do this. He's got his own page. We went over that. And how are we going to do that? Right? And there's beautiful things that we can do in order to spread this message, right? TikTok, huge. Facebook, huge. Reels, doing a short little clip of working out, whether you're on the treadmill or whether you're, on the bench press or squat rack or whatever, just having the camera behind us and like a 7-second clip of us pushing up some weight with some text that says, I think it was October of 2020, I was, addicted to blank, 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 blank. I was blank, blank, blank. And now I do fitness and, have my body healthy again. And I do this to show other women that it's possible to recover and get your life back, and it's beautiful that we have the opportunity to do that. Right. And motivating others, is what it's all about. Showing others that it's possible to do what we're doing. Right. Claudia, amen, amen. Yes, I constantly visualize going into homeless camps and handing out copies of my book. Amen, Crystal. I love that. And I've literally done that. For Christmas, I think it was 2020, Christmas 2020, had a bunch of people come over to my condo downtown Denver, and we wrapped a bunch of presents. We had donations come in, and we wrapped a bunch of presents together. I made a bunch of gift bags that had all kinds of stuff in it. And then I put my book, signed copy of my book, in all these bags, right? And then we went out on the streets together and found people out there. We were giving out hats and coats and gloves and things. And I was able to share my story and give my book to a whole bunch of people, telling them, I think it was 3 years ago, I was homeless. I was 86 from a homeless shelter and addicted to drugs. And then being able to go out and share that with them and doing that. And Crystal, the beautiful thing is that if you keep visualizing that while you're doing the work to get there, and you and I know the work that you're doing to get there, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's nothing that can stop you from doing that. And that's what's beautiful. This is exactly what it is. I constantly visualize going into homeless camps and handing out copies of my book. Now, in order to visualize that, right, you have to know that you're going to have a book. You have to know that you're going to do this. So in order to make that vision come true, got to write a book, one, and then 2, got to publish the book, get it out, and then get some copies of the book. That's literally all you have to do to make that come true. And that's what's beautiful. Look at that service. Look at that service. Awesome, awesome. Hula hoops. Yes. Crushing goals. Yes. Amen. And I love goals. I'm sure that you guys know that have watched me for a while. There's something to writing down what the vision actually is. Writing down what the vision is that we want to become, who we want to serve, what we want to be doing on what scale, right? How many people we want to serve, how many videos we want to be putting out. Before I was able to start this relaunch of the Recovered on Purpose show, I had to write down exactly how I was going to do it. I had to visualize, okay, I want to do 5 days a week. I want to do this. I want to have guests on the weekends. I want to do this. I want to do this. And as I was visualizing that, I was writing it down, what I have to do, how I have to set it up. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I make a thumbnail of each one of these shows before the show. I had to have somebody that created the thumbnail that I can edit, for each show. There's 5 different ones for each day, right? There's a lot of vision and a lot of goals have to be set and accomplished to make a vision come true. So some of them are really simple. Some of them have very short-term goals. They have very few that have to be attained in order to make this happen. Like if you have a vision of serving people as a addictions counselor, as a certified addictions counselor, and you're visualizing yourself in your office and you're talking to somebody that's struggling, you're talking to them about this and that, you're feeling that presence with them, then you have to write down, the goal is get my CAC, get my certified addiction counselor, writing that down. And then the next step is, okay, the goal would be, okay, who do I need to call to make that happen? Who do I need to call? What school do I need to go to? What do I have to do to make that happen? So then you write down everything you have to do to make it happen to have the CAC certification, right? And that's that's a simple one, and one that is, extremely, extremely impactful, not only for us, but for all the people that will serve with that certification, right? I don't see the link you were talking about. All right, I'm about to post the link again. It was at the very top. Where can I get your book from? Where can I get your book from? What is your name? My name's Adam. Good to see you, Claudia. And the book is called From Chains to Saved: One Man's Journey Through the Spiritual Realm of Addiction. Looks like this. Can you see it? There you go. And if you want a paperback copy, you can get it on Amazon. Just search From Chains to Saved, and it'll pop right up. But I give it away for free on my website for a digital and an audio copy. I read the audio copy. It's on Audible also, but I give it away for free on the website. And the website's recoveredonpurpose.com. You'll actually see that, or we'll take a quick break right now so you can see what I'm talking about. Be right back. What's up, Recovered on Purpose family? I hope you're enjoying this episode as much as I do when I'm making them. Guys, if you're getting any value from this, if you're seeing any golden nuggets that you want to share with your community, make sure that you are. You're sharing it with your groups, you're sharing it with your personal page or your pages, or to that one person that you're thinking of right now in their messengers so that they get this message. And guys, the brand new Recovered on Purpose website is up, and it has a whole bunch of different merchandise and resources and the free calls with me. So make sure you're checking out recoveredonpurpose.com after the show. And if you are a loved one of an addict, if you have a kid that's suffering an addiction, I'm now doing free calls so we can strategize and find out how we can get them clean and keep them clean. Love you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of the show. All right. Figured I would just do it right now since you guys asked. Let's go. I'm going to come back here. I want to use almost daily, but G. Christina, I hear you. I hear you. Are you involved in a fellowship? Are you involved in a foundational recovery program? Are you seeing an addictions counselor? What are the steps that you're taking that can get rid of this? That can get rid of this. For me, that left when I did my 5th step. I was going to 2 meetings every single day, just going to the meetings. I had been doing it for a long time. But what changed is when I was going to the meetings and doing the 12 steps, like actually working them hard. That's when this kind of obsession left me. If you aren't involved in some kind of foundational recovery program, it doesn't have to be 12 steps, but I recommend them because that's what worked for me. But if you're not involved in some kind of fellowship activities and some kind of recovery foundational program, we gotta get you in there. We got to get you in there. Hello, Berta. What's up, Berta? We got somebody in the studio. I'll bring her in a second. Book is called From Chains to Saved, and his name is Adam Van Gutten. Sorry for that question, but I never seen you before. I live in UK, not USA. Hey, good to see you. It's always good to. I mean, right now, I'm actually coming in from Medellin, Colombia, and just have been blessed to be able to live this life in recovery. I always wanted to live abroad. Always wanted to learn Spanish. I'm able to tell my story in Spanish a little bit, quite a bit. So you guys want to hear it? Hace 5 años estaba adicto de heroína y metanfetamina y sin lugar, pero cuando tuve una experiencia con Dios, cuando Jesús me visitare en desayuno y cara a cara y no más drogas. So got a little bit of it. I am sober today and just was feeling like I'm fading away, like my 72-year-old mom is with hepatitis C. And I had tears start going down my face. My soul's badly hurt, heartbroken, and with a bleeding heart. Brother, love you, man. Love you, man. Get involved in some fellowshipping. Guys, get involved in some fellowshipping. There's a lot of different places that we can fellowship. And by your name, bro, get involved in a Christian fellowship. Go to a CR, Celebrate Recovery. Go to a church and ask them about their Celebrate Recovery. Google Celebrate Recovery. Look for some fellowships that you can get involved in that can walk with you through this. Always come back here. Always, we love having you here. I don't try to tell people that this is, where you should only come for recovery, right? This is not the only place. This is a good place to come, hang out, spend some time together, talk about recovery, talk about possibilities, talk about, that kind of stuff. But we have to be doing our foundational work also. And to get that one-on-one connection, to get that fellowshipping connection is really, really, really big. It's really, really big. And this can come from a lot of different areas. Like I was saying earlier, there's fellowships that love to go hiking together. There's fellowships that love to go, whatever it is that you want to do, play basketball, go to the gym, all these different things. You can find fellowship. You can find people to hang out with. Welcome here, family. I need drugs to numb this agony. I'm even losing my mom's house lately. My sister bought it and said she wants us out in October. Bro, it's time to get on some prayers. It's time to get on some prayers. It's time to get on some prayers and with some fellowship. Now, God works better with a moving car than a parked car. As we're praying, we're parked. We're praying, and we're parked. Then we got to get moving in the right direction, whatever it is we need to do. Okay. And I'm not downplaying what's going on. I'm not downplaying, but we can't stay here for too long, because guess what happens if you do the drugs? And I don't know where you're at in your recovery, how much time you have, but if you haven't found time in recovery, if you're not at a place where you have some time in recovery, that's a situation that would help a lot of what's going on now. Period. Getting off of drugs, doing what you have to do, going to, meetings help. Meetings help. Even if it doesn't end up being your exact form of recovery, it helps to get around people that are in recovery. What's up, Opal? Good to see you. Good to see you. Amen. Amen. What's up, Christy from Mississippi? Good to see you. You need you. Amen. Everything that you said, NA, NCR, church every week and going through deliverance. Amen. 100%. It's huge. What's up, Rachel? Okay, we got December Faith coming in the studio. See what's going on. What's going on, December? You're muted. You're muted.
There we go.
How you doing?
Good. We just got off of a coaching call.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, December is in the course right now. And we actually just got off a coaching call right before this, but yeah, let's hit it. So what have you been getting from the course so far? You just finished with module 1. What are you experiencing with it?
I'm actually learning a lot more about myself than I realized I didn't know. I've been on this kind of spiritual journey of self-discovery and self-love, and just sitting down and actually thinking about the things that I did when I first got sober is like, wow. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of stuff that I did. And we didn't even talk about this, but I live in Montana, so nature is like everywhere around me, and that's where I feel most grounded and centered is when I'm in nature. So yeah. Whenever I was having problems when I first got sober, I would take my dog for really, really long walks, which was amazing for me because I had physical problems due to my alcoholism. And just getting out there and being out there with nature and listening to music and being with my animal and feeling connected spiritually to the earth and to something else besides being housebound, which is what happened to me at the end of my alcoholism. That just the breathing in the fresh air and just being so grateful for all of that was a huge catalyst for me in getting sober.
Yeah. Amen. And what have you said you've been learning some stuff about yourself? What have you been learning about yourself through this course?
I have a little bit more insecurity still than I thought that I
did. I get that. We all do. We all do.
And just feeling like maybe I'm not as far along as other people who are as sober as me because I didn't use a 12-step program. I went to two different treatment centers and AA a bunch of times, and it just never really stuck for me. And so just hearing, the stories of people who do stick it out and who can go through it, and like you said, going to meetings, just being with people who are like-minded and like you is super, super helpful.
Amen. 100%. And guys, this is, I did the 12 steps. December didn't. And we're both sitting here in recovery. January 18th, 2020. I didn't put my my recovery date on here, but 11/6/2017. And that's what's beautiful about recovery. We can't be bashing other people's recovery. We can't be saying what you're doing is wrong. We can't be saying what you're promoting is wrong, because the whole point of us finding recovery is finding our journey to recovery and then sharing it. And the people that will bash someone for their recovery, they don't have recovery. They don't have it. So find what yours is, get after it. And guys, again, if you want to hop in here with us, the link should be right there. Pam, I've had Hep C 2 times, been tested twice in the past 9 years, and am virus free. Amen. I believe it's because a doctor suggested that I take B complex vitamins and milk thistle supplement when I was released from the hospital. And that was decades ago. So grateful. Amen. And I have multiple friends in recovery who have been cured of Hep C. I've had multiple friends be cured of Hep C. They found it, I think it was like 6-7 years ago. They found a cure for it, and you can get it. You can get a cure for it. So surrender and true freedom. Amen. Amen. So what do you want to do over the next 3 years with your life? What is because this is about what if it was possible? What if we could? So what would be the vision for your life in 3 years?
I already have that. I'm going to school to get my licensed addiction counselor certification, and eventually I want to open a recovery retreat center for women here in Montana that specializes in trauma and PTSD for women, and getting out in nature, having spiritual coaches there, life coaches, therapists, things like that, all in one place. For women to come have a fun weekend, because we go to treatment together and we have all these experiences and create these bonds, but there's not really anything like that in recovery. And so that's what I want to create up in my neck of the woods for
Amen.
In recovery.
So the CAC certification, right? The certified addiction counselor.
Yeah.
And then have a retreat for women in recovery.
Correct.
All right. I'm just writing this down because we can break this down, right? So what is your timeline for the CAC certification?
I think it's about 2 years. I already have a bachelor's degree, so I have some of the minor stuff out of the way. But the program that I'm looking into is about 2 years. So.
Okay. And when are you going to start it?
Hopefully within the next month.
Okay. What do you have to do to start it in the next month?
I just have to go into their registrar's office and give them all my information and basically sign a couple documents, and then I'm ready to go.
And what's holding you back?
Well, I have 3 kids, and I also work 55 hours a week at my daytime job. So just the time, and I'm also working on this program too, to become a speaker. So a lot of fires burning right now. Amen.
There's going to be a lot of stories that come out of that also, right? And the reason why I put a timestamp on it is that there's a powerful thing about vision and then setting goals with a timestamp, right? Because if we say, I'm getting my CAC by this date, if it's a 2-year program, if you say I'm going to have it by, September of 2024, then all of a sudden that's going to kick your butt into going and signing up, kick your butt into going and doing this, right?
Yeah.
And then what do you need in order to have a retreat for women in recovery?
Investors. Real estate's expensive up here, and I have a specific place in mind that has a lake in it, and just it's very secluded. So there will be lots of midnight dancing and things like that. So yeah, just looking for people to come in with me, and I have a couple of business partners that I'm working with actually on that right now. So, and I'm in the mortgage industry, so I kind of have a little foot in the door.
Amen. Amen. Mine has been a spiritual journey. I do sensory deprivation, meditation, creativity, nature, fitness. I love that. I love that. There's been I've done the chambers, the saltwater chambers for the sensory deprivation, and where you like it's basically a floating chamber, and that helps a lot with meditation. All right. So December, I'm going to see you in like 15 minutes or so. Thanks
Yes,
for coming
sir.
in. All right. I'll see you soon.
All right.
So Genesee, you actually do you hold those? Do you have a place where you invite other people into it also, or you go do them? Yeah, exactly. And something else that I love doing is cold plunging. I cold plunge as much as possible. I used to have one in the States. I actually built one for my house, and now I've got like 3 friends here that have theirs built in their houses. I don't really have a spot in my place to build one right now, but I love cold plunging, cold showers, that kind of stuff. It's perfect for meditation, perfect for anxiety, perfect for panic attacks, everything. And if someone is about to have an anxiety attack or someone is about to have a panic attack, touching something cold. So you can even pull like a tray of ice out of the freezer and touch it to their wrist. Or if you're the person, right? Touch it to your wrist or touch it to your forehead. Or if you are willing, if you literally turn your shower on to freezing cold and you get in it, your panic attack will go away immediately, instantly. It's an amazing, amazing thing. Yeah, going to the float center. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So, where are we at? Where are we at? Happiness is in the progress of moving towards our dream. Now, a lot of people, I even had somebody ask me a couple days ago, are you happy? And when I get asked if I'm happy, I have to kind of bring this in. I have to explain what that means to me to be happy, because I don't think that happiness is something that we can attain and have, because happiness is in the pursuit. And the way that I know this is when I wrote my book. It took me 5 weeks to write my book. I had this huge vision, this huge goal of like getting this book out and like how it was going to feel and how I was going to be happy when it was out and all these feelings I was going to have when it was out. And I sat down and I worked so hard on this book, and I cut out everything else, put my phones away, all my other businesses away, and everything else away. And I sat down and I wrote this book because I had this vision of what it was going to do. And during writing the book, I would fall down on my knees. I was crying at certain times when I was reliving things. I had spiritual experiences while I was writing it where I would go over and just start praying like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here right now. And just all these experiences while I was on the journey towards the goal of writing my book and finishing my book and publishing my book. Then when the book was published, and then when it hit #1 bestseller, I had these feelings. It was like, oh my gosh, like it's happened, it's here. And these kinds of things happen internally. But then it was as if it was all that stuff was gone. Like I got it, it's here, but I can't grasp onto the moment that it happened. I can't grasp onto that moment and carry it with me for the rest of my life, because now it's on to the next thing. What's the next thing that I want to do that's going to serve others? What's the next thing that's going to help other people? Because that's what makes me the happiest, is like working on things that help other people, right? Sitting down with someone one-on-one and doing the work with someone. I actually have the opportunity down here in Medellin. I found someone that's never done the steps and is, early in recovery, and they're leaving here in a couple weeks. But what I get to do is I'm sitting down with them the entire day tomorrow, and I'm doing all the step work with them from 1 all the way through to start 9. And I haven't done it that quickly before, because I haven't been able to actually sit down and devote an entire day to do it with someone in my recovery. I think the fastest I've taken someone through is a couple weeks to being able to do their amends and everything. But in this process, I'm already excited about tomorrow. I'm already excited about, the process of doing this, right? And I have the vision of taking this person through to be working on their 9th step, right? And helping them learn how to make their amends, because that's where like everybody finds a ton of freedom when they're on the 9th step. When they do the steps and they get to the 9th step, they find freedom in doing amends. So I have that vision, right? But I know that the whole process tomorrow is going to be a really fun process. It's going to make me really, really happy doing that process, right? I yell out my window when I'm feeling down. I love my life, and it brings me back into gratitude. Amen. And changes my attitude for the day. Amen. I love that. I love that. Just yell it out. I am happy. I am grateful. I love my life. I love my life. Yes. I love it. Guys, I'm going to end it a little bit early tonight. I love you guys so much. And we will see you tomorrow. I have a really good interview coming in tomorrow and Sunday night. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. Make sure to come in. Love you guys and keep living.